Look at this room. This is unbelievable. Good morning, everybody. Guys, the governor's mansion's far away. Let's try that one more time. Good morning. I think he heard you. I'm Daniel Biss. I'm state senator from the 9th District. I'm running for governor of Illinois. It is such a joy to be here. This room of beautiful activist Democrats is an extraordinary thing. Thank you, Doug House, for the remarkable work you have done to make this happen. Thank you for honoring my two great friends, Lauren Beth Gash from the 10th Congressional, Bill Houlihan. I don't know how they've accomplished so much that they were honored for because they spend so much time giving me advice. I thought that was their full-time job. They are unbelievable Democrats who have lifted our party. And there are a ton of public officials here. I don't want to go too far down the list, but I cannot avoid honoring and thanking my great friend, Congresswoman Robin Kelly. Thank you, Robin, for your endorsement of this campaign for governor. Thank you for your incredible work, not just for the 2nd Congressional District, but for the entire country. I think back a lot to the night of November 8th, when all the meetings and the victory parties that weren't were over, and I went home. And I went upstairs into the bedroom of my two children. They were 6 and 8 years old, asleep in their two beds next to each other, peaceful, beautiful. And I thought about the future that it looks like we might be creating for them, and I just started to cry. The next morning, I wasn't any less sad. I wasn't any less upset. I wasn't any less frightened, but I woke up ready to fight. And the great news is that across the state of Illinois and across this country, people woke up ready to fight. I cannot tell you in the course of the first months of this race for governor, as I have crisscrossed this state, the activist energy, the passion, the intensity. And it's not just in the most liberal parts of the state of Illinois. It's in places where Trump did well. It's the living room in Macoupin County. It's the new activist women marching for Planned Parenthood in McLean County. It's people across, shout out to McLean County. It is the people across this state who figured out on November 8th, not just that we made a mistake, it's the people who figured out that nobody else is going to come in and fix it for us. We have to come together and rise up and take control of our state and solve these problems for ourselves. Now, the last week has been kind of rough. I didn't think it was supposed to be controversial to condemn neo-Nazis. I didn't think it was supposed to be controversial to condemn white supremacists. I didn't think that was going to be something that you had to take a poll to figure out what the right thing to do was. I didn't think it was something that you could flip-flop back and forth again, as our president has, or flip-flop only maybe once, as our governor has. But that's what we're dealing with, and that's what all of us are here to fight against. That's what brought us all into this battle. But I want y'all to understand that if we're going to learn the most important lessons that got us to this dangerous moment, we got to remember that as Democrats, we have to be about more than just saying what's wrong with the other side. We have to talk about our own vision for how we can lift people up. We have to talk about our own vision for how we can solve the state's problems. We have to talk about what it takes to fix a tax system where millionaires and billionaires get away for decades without paying their share, and the rest of us can't afford schools that work as a result. We have to talk about how our solutions are going to lift people up. And guess what, most importantly? In this dangerous, difficult moment, in this time as we wonder, good Lord, how do we get to be in a situation where we've got a Republican president of, I don't even know what to say. We've got ourselves a Republican House of Representatives and a Republican U.S. Senate. We've got ourselves a Republican governor here in Illinois. Republicans have so much control over the federal judiciary, state legislatures and governors across the country. Let's be honest, we're in trouble. And that's an opportunity for us to decide who we're going to be. When we come back, as we rise up, what kind of Democratic Party are we going to be to rise up? Are we going to be a billionaire party, or are we going to be a middle-class party? Are we going to be a corporate party, or are we going to be a people's party? Are we going to have ourselves an election, or are we going to hold an auction? Democrats, this is a moment of unique opportunity. This is a moment for an aggressive, progressive, aspirational agenda. This is a moment to bring control back for the rest of us. This is a moment to say, hey, listen, Illinois government hasn't worked for the rest of us for way too long because of who pays for the elections, because of the way the political system works. Illinois government has had a tax code written by the rich for the rich and a school funding system that leaves the rest of us out. This is a moment to solve those problems. And listen, here is what I find so exciting and energizing about this. If we get this right, it's about so much more than just saying no to somebody else. It's about solving problems that we have been enduring for decades, that we've known what the solutions were, but we just didn't have the political infrastructure in place to get it done. With 1,800 people in this room, we have what it takes to get it done. With people rising up in every corner of the state of Illinois, we have what it takes to get it done. With a progressive movement rising across our nation, we have what it takes to get it done. And if we get this right, we're going to look back on this moment years from now, and yes, we'll say what took so long, but we'll also thank ourselves for the work we put in. We'll thank ourselves for rising to the moment. We'll thank ourselves for understanding what's at stake. We will thank ourselves for transforming our state in a way that results in not people leaving Illinois, but people flocking in. Not a middle class shrinking, but a middle class growing. Not wages stagnating, but wages rising to $15 an hour and beyond. Not a lack of opportunity in some corners of the state that state government has too often looked away from, but economic opportunity thriving in every single neighborhood of the state of Illinois, because we will invest in every corner of the state of Illinois because we believe in every person in the state of Illinois. That is what's at stake at this moment. This is what we can accomplish. I'm Daniel Biss. I'm running for governor because it's time to take our state back and build a government that works for the rest of us. Thank you, and God bless each and every one of you.